A fragile girl with trembling hands and a limp in her walk, mocked, recorded, and humiliated in front of hundreds. No one stood up for her. Not the teachers, not her so-called friends, not even the people who called themselves good. But someone was watching. Someone who understood what pain truly meant, not from the outside, but from the inside. That night, when the laughter faded, a strange smile appeared in the dark alley behind the school. A smile, painted in red. And when the sun rose again, those who had mocked her weren't laughing anymore. Because he had arrived, the one society calls a monster. But that night, he was justice. This is the story of how the Joker became the only person who truly understood kindness through chaos. Subscribe now, because what you're about to hear isn't just a story, and so it's a mirror showing what happens when cruelty meets madness. The rain hadn't stopped all week. Gotham City always looked the same under the storm, gray, heartless, and tired. But that evening, something felt different. Inside the narrow corridor of Gotham Central High, laughter echoed, not the kind born of joy, but of cruelty. Mira, a quiet 16-year-old girl with a limp from a childhood accident, stood in the hallway clutching her books. She wore a faded blue dress, too big for her frame, her eyes searching for kindness that didn't exist here. 3 boys cornered her near the lockers. Their phones were out, recording. "Dance for us, Mira," one of them sneered. "Come on, show us that pretty limp of yours." The laughter was loud, merciless, feeding off her humiliation. She tried to escape, but one of them shoved her hard, sending her to the floor. Her books scattered. Her hands trembled as she tried to pick them up. And somewhere, far beyond that school's walls, a pair of painted eyes watched the live video as it spread online. The Joker wasn't supposed to care. He was supposed to laugh. After all, that's what he did best. But something about this video froze him. He rewound it, watched the girl's trembling hands again. He saw her eyes, not of weakness, but quiet endurance. The kind he once had before the world broke him too. He tilted his head, whispering to himself, "Funny, the world still laughs at pain, even after all these years." Later that night, the same bullies were celebrating. The video had gone viral, and their followers loved it. They were at a small warehouse near the East End, drinking cheap beer and bragging about their prank. "Relax," said one of them. "It's just a joke." She'll get over it. But when the lights flickered, the laughter stopped. The sound of static filled the room. Every phone, every speaker, even the old TV in the corner turned on by itself. On the screen appeared a face. White paint, green hair slicked back, crimson smile stretching too far to be human. "Good evening, gentlemen," said a voice, cheerful yet chilling. "I saw your little video. Truly inspiring." The boys froze. One laughed nervously. "Who the hell is this? Some prank?" Joker's voice deepened. "A prank! Oh, no, no, no. You play pranks. I correct them." The screen went black. The lights cut out. Silence. Then a slow clap echoed from the shadows of the warehouse. A figure stepped forward, umbrella in one hand, laughter in the other. "You know," he said softly, walking closer, "I love humor. But cruelty without creativity, that's just boring." The boys backed away, trembling. One of them stuttered, "Look, we didn't mean—" "Didn't mean?" Joker interrupted, smiling wide. "That's the problem with you happy little bullies. You never mean it until someone shows you what it means." He pulled a card from his pocket and flicked it toward them. It landed at their feet. A Joker playing card smeared with red lipstick. "Let's play a game," he said. "If you win, you go home. If you lose—" His grin widened. "You learn." The room filled with circus music from an unseen source. Twisted, distorted. The boys panicked, running toward the exit, but every door was chained shut. Lights flashed red and white, like a carnival gone wrong. When the police found the warehouse the next morning, the boys were still alive, but barely, covered in paint, trembling, surrounded by shattered mirrors. Scrawled on the walls in lipstick were the words, "Laugh again, and you'll forget what pain feels like." The video of the incident vanished from every corner of the internet overnight. No one ever found out how. Mira woke up to dozens of apology messages from people she didn't even know. Her bullies were in the hospital, silent, refusing to speak of what happened. And on her porch that morning was a small box. Inside it, a single card, the Joker, and a note. "Don't hide your scars. The world needs reminders that monsters are made, not born." She didn't know what it meant, but somehow it made her smile, for the first time in years. Across town, Joker stood by the window of an abandoned amusement park, staring at his reflection in a cracked mirror. He whispered, maybe chaos can be kind, just once." He laughed quietly, not maniacally, but almost sadly. The sound echoed into the night, but just as he turned away, a familiar voice came from behind him, calm, dark, and deliberate. "Kindness isn't your game, Joker. You're playing with something dangerous." He froze. The silhouette in the shadows stepped forward, a familiar shape beneath a black cowl. "Ah." Joker grinned slowly. "I was wondering when you'd show up." The old amusement park groaned under the weight of silence. Rusted rides swayed in the wind, their chains clinking like faint laughter from ghosts that never left. Joker leaned against a carousel horse, paint cracking on his face as rainwater streaked down his cheek, half makeup, half tear. Batman stepped out of the darkness, his cape dragging across broken glass. "You went too far this time," he said, voice low but firm. "Too far?" Joker chuckled, turning slowly. "Tell me, Batsy, what's too far in a city that doesn't even know where the line is anymore?" Batman's jaw tightened. "They were kids." "Bullies," Joker interrupted sharply. "Not kids. Parasites. You know the type. The ones who grow up to wear suits and call it business. I just gave them an early lesson." Batman's silence lingered. For a moment, even he couldn't deny the bitter truth in those words. Gotham was filled with men who once laughed at others' pain, and later sold their souls for power. Joker grinned faintly, sensing the hesitation. "See? Even you get it. You dress like a bat to scare criminals. I dress like a clown to scare the hypocrites. We're not so different." "You still traumatize 3 teenagers," Batman growled. Joker's laughter filled the air, not wild but wounded. "Trauma? Oh, they'll live. But maybe next time they'll think twice before destroying someone for sport. Isn't that what you want too, Bats? A better Gotham?" Before Batman could answer, Joker reached into his coat and pulled out a phone. The screen lit up with a live feed. It showed Mira, sitting alone at a cafe, smiling faintly as she read something on her laptop. Batman's voice hardened. "What are you doing with her?" Joker sighed. "Relax. I'm not hurting her. She's special. You see, she didn't beg for pity. She didn't cry for attention. She just kept going. That's rare, even in your shiny moral world." He turned the screen toward Batman. "She's the only person in this entire city who hasn't lost her humanity. That's why they broke her, because pure things scare people like them." Batman stepped closer. "You're projecting your pain onto her. You think saving her will erase what you've done?" Joker smirked, voice softening. "Maybe. Or maybe I just want to prove that even monsters can protect angels in their own messed up way." Before Batman could respond, Joker suddenly tossed a playing card at him. It stuck to the wet floor, soaked and smeared in ink. Written across it in red paint, "The real joke starts at midnight." Then he vanished into the fog, laughter echoing faintly through the rain. Midnight. Gotham's digital billboard downtown suddenly flickered to life. Static then, a live broadcast. Joker's painted face filled the screen, But this time there was no grin. His tone was calm, hauntingly serious. "Tonight," he began, "we're going to laugh together, not at someone, but at something." The screen cut to live security footage of a lavish banquet hall, Gotham City Council's charity gala. Politicians, judges, businessmen, all smiling, all pretending to care about the children of Gotham. Joker's voice echoed through every television, every phone, every screen in the city. "These are the people who build their empires on misery. They call it charity. I call it performance art." Batman raced through the streets, following the signal. Inside the gala, chaos erupted. The lights went out, and in their place, hundreds of small holographic screens appeared, playing clips of those same council members laughing about corruption, bribery, scandals, private conversations, leaked truths. People screamed as the Joker's laughter filled the room. "Why so serious, my honorable friends?" His voice mocked through the speakers. "I didn't poison you. I didn't even touch you. I just let Gotham see who you really are." The building went into lockdown, but amid the panic, Mira was there too. She had been invited as a guest of honor by a fake scholarship foundation. She didn't understand what was happening until she saw the Joker's face on every screen. Her hands trembled. She whispered to herself, "Why me?" And as if he heard her, Joker's voice softened again on the broadcast. "You, Mira, are my punchline, not because you're weak, but because you remind them what strength looks like when the world tries to crush it." Batman arrived just as the police stormed the hall. He looked up at the biggest screen and saw Joker's final message appear across it in red text. "They laughed at pain. Now the city laughs at them." Then, silence. The lights flickered back on. The guests stood frozen in shame and fear, the illusion of their decency shattered. Joker hadn't killed anyone this time, but he had killed something else. Their image, their power. Outside, rain poured harder. Batman found a single playing card taped to a streetlight nearby. On the back of it, scribbled in Joker's messy handwriting, "You can arrest me for crimes, Bats, but not for truth." Batman clenched the card, glancing up at the city skyline. Somewhere above, Joker watched from a rooftop, umbrella spinning lazily, eyes distant. "Maybe," he murmured, "this time the joke's on the right people." But then he froze. His phone buzzed. An unknown message appeared. "You think you control the chaos? Look again." The screen flashed once, then displayed live footage of Mira, terrified, surrounded by masked men. Joker's painted smile slowly vanished. His reflection in the puddle below trembled. He whispered, voice low and shaken for the first time, "Someone's playing my game." The screen on Joker's phone flickered, the grainy live footage showing Mira bound to a chair inside what looked like an abandoned subway tunnel. Dim lights swung above her head, and a distorted voice spoke through the feed. "Heroes wear masks, but so do monsters. Tell me, Joker, which one are you?" For a moment, Joker didn't move. His painted grin, his armor, began to tremble. He'd built his life on chaos, on control of unpredictability, but now someone had stolen his game. And the target wasn't the city this time. It was the one person he swore to protect in his own twisted way. He smashed the phone against the wall, eyes wild, chest heaving. "Wrong move," he muttered, voice breaking between rage and disbelief. "You don't take from me what I've chosen to care about." Within minutes, he was gone, sprinting through Gotham's rain-soaked alleys, following faint digital traces left behind by the broadcast signal. The trail led him into the underbelly of the city, a maze of tunnels beneath the old subway lines where rats and secrets thrived together. As he descended the steps, laughter echoed faintly, not his, but an imitation. Someone mocking him, mimicking his tone. "Come on, Joker," the voice taunted through hidden speakers. "You play the savior now." How poetic. The clown who bleeds for the broken. Joker stopped in the middle of the tunnel, eyes darting into the shadows. "Who are you?" he shouted, The voice chuckled. A reflection, maybe. Someone who finally decided to teach you a joke about pain. He followed the sound, his footsteps splashing through puddles. The deeper he went, the colder it got. And then he saw her, Mira. She sat in the chair, ropes cutting into her wrists, her head tilted slightly up as if she refused to bow even in fear. But her eyes widened when she saw him. "Joker," she whispered, voice trembling. "Shh," he said softly, crouching before her. "You're safe now, little bird." The show's over. He began untying the ropes, until he noticed the tiny red light blinking on one of the chair's legs. His smile vanished. A trap. He froze. Oh, clever, clever. Before he could move, the tunnel light snapped off, and the voice boomed again, this time clearer, more familiar. "Always the performer, aren't you? You think chaos belongs to you alone." A figure stepped from the shadows. Tall, thin, face hidden behind a cracked porcelain mask painted with a crooked grin. "I studied you," the stranger said. "I watched how you made people listen through fear, so I took your stage. And now the world will watch you break." Joker tilted his head, curiosity mixing with danger. "So, you're my biggest fan." How touching. But here's the thing. He leaned forward, grin returning. "You can't out-joke the joke itself." The masked figure stepped closer, holding a detonator. "You inspired me, Joker. But you forgot. Chaos doesn't stay loyal. It spreads." The sound of ticking filled the air. Mira's eyes widened. "Run," she cried. But Joker didn't move. Instead, he slowly reached into his pocket, pulling out a small flower, the one he usually wore on his suit. He twisted the stem once, and the ticking suddenly stopped. The masked man froze. "What? How?" Joker grinned, eyes glinting with madness and pride. "Rule number 1 of the circus, my friend. Never steal the ringmaster's tricks." With a flick of his wrist, gas burst from the flower's petals, filling the tunnel with a thick purple haze. The masked man stumbled back, coughing, disoriented. Mira felt Joker's gloved hand on her shoulder as he pulled her free. They ran through the tunnel, lights flickering behind them as muffled laughter turned into screams. An explosion followed, brief, bright, and final. When they emerged into the open air, dawn had begun to rise. Gotham's skyline glowed faintly through the mist. Mira collapsed to her knees, gasping. Joker stood beside her, staring at the city. For once, he wasn't laughing. His face, smeared, tired, human, showed something rare. Silence. Mira looked at him, eyes searching. "Why did you help me?" she whispered. He smiled faintly. "Because the world loves to break the kind ones. And sometimes," he looked up at the gray sky, "someone has to scare it into remembering what kindness costs." She didn't know what to say. He turned to leave, his purple coat trailing behind him. "Wait, Chemo," Yao Xia called out. "You're not as bad as they say." He stopped, half smiling, half aching. "Oh, Mira," he murmured, "I'm exactly as bad as they say." But for once, that's what made things right. And with that, he disappeared into the smoke, rising from the tunnel. Later that morning, police found the wreckage underground, along with the body of the masked man. But there was no sign of Joker, only a single playing card taped to the tunnel wall. On it, scrawled in red ink, "Even chaos has a conscience." Weeks later, Mira returned to school. This time, no one mocked her, no one even dared. The world had changed a little, or maybe just her. One night, as she sat by her window, she noticed something strange across the street. On the building wall, painted in fading crimson letters, were 4 words that glowed faintly in the moonlight. "Smile. The world's watching." She smiled softly, whispering into the night, "Thank you, clown." And somewhere in Gotham's endless dark, laughter echoed again, gentle, haunting and almost peaceful.
If this story gave you chills or made you think twice about right and wrong, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more dark, emotional, and mind-twisting stories every week.
Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next tale that blurs the line between madness and justice.